evening. Welcome to Live and Let Jive here at Ronnie Scott's Bar. We're very, very pleased to welcome a brand new band for our guest band tonight. Could you please gather around, put your hands together, and make some noise for Lou, Louis, and the Twilight Trio. Thank you.
Right, so when and where were you born?
I was born in Maidstone Hospital on the 25th of March 1994.
Where did you go to school, like primary and secondary school?
Primary school, I went to Sandin Primary School. That's probably about 3 miles from my house at the time. And then secondary school, I went to Valley Park Community School, which was in Vintis area.
Right.
That's probably, like, once again at the time, probably about 4.5 miles from my house. So it was a little bit longer than the primary school.
And where did you go to college at all after school? Or?
Yeah, well, after I left secondary school, I went to a place called Mid-Kent College in Gillingham. I studied music there, like a level 3 diploma. Studied it for 2 years, and it taught me a lot about music and arranging and all the sort of things that you'd need to be like a songwriter.
Yeah.
It helped me improve my singing and things like that. Yeah, so it got me to where I wanted to sort of go.
You want to be now?
Yeah.
And so right at the start, what was your childhood like growing up? Normal childhood?
Yeah, I had quite a normal childhood. It's pretty steady. I mean, certain time periods were probably hard for my parents and stuff, you know, like obviously do with money like most people. And that would sort of get in the way of certain things. But I had a good time growing up and stuff. We did a lot of things. I did a lot of things like my nan and granddad and general things like that. So I'd say, yeah, I had quite a steady sort of upbringing, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, so what's your family like as a whole? All supportive? And
yeah, I'd say we're all supportive of each other, and they've supported me a lot through growing up doing music, and always said to me, do what you want to do and just follow your dreams and keep going. And that's what I've done. I've sort of doubted myself certain periods of my life and stuff about doing it.
What's that?
Carry on singing. Just because it's such a hard sort of thing to get into music. You know, it's so many people.
Specialist type of music as well, isn't it?
Yes, it's very specialist music. So you've got so many people doing music generally, but trying to specialise in something, it's even harder because you need to be actually heard by a certain type of person, a certain audience. So yeah.
So yeah, who introduced you to the music first of all?
Introduced me to music. Well, it's probably my dad influenced me first of all. He sort of played me a double-sided tape of Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent, and I basically took it from there. As soon as I listened to that, I realised that is what I want to be like when I'm older. I want to sound like that, and I want to play that type of music. And it just got me straight away. What no other music's never done for me. It really got me. It's got energy. It's got just sophistication. At the time, lyric writing they were writing about, the music was fantastic, and you know, Eddie Cochran solos. You had like Gene Vincent's voice. It was just all there. And also like my nan introduced me to like stuff like Elvis, and I really loved Elvis growing up, and I loved Johnny Cash and stuff. But always the ones that stuck out for me was artists such as Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent, and sort of smaller artists like that who were really raw and edgy, and they wasn't polished, and it
wasn't commercial, was it?
No, it's very raw.
Yeah,
and that's what I liked about it.
So yeah, when did you start performing your first performance?
Well, I started performing at the age of 7. There was like a talent show at my primary school, and you could sort of dance and sing or act, and it was near Christmas time. It was about a couple of weeks before Christmas, like before you break off your holidays. So I decided to do a Christmas song called Shakin' Stevens, Merry Christmas Everyone. I decided to do that, and I practiced it, and my mum went home and wrote all the words for me, because this was before we had computers, before they were pretty popular. You could just print lyrics off. So she wrote them all down for me at the time, and I just kept practicing them. And it got to the day of like doing the performance, so I went to school. I was quite nervous. I'd little like a tape recorder where I'd play my tape through it, and then I just basically sung it, and I basically won it. And then I just took it from there. I thought, well, if I can do this, I can obviously sing. So I'm going to take this up.
So that was your first ever chance to do it.
Yeah, so I decided to take it up from there. Basically, I thought, well, I've obviously got something because I wouldn't have won something like that. And it was like about 15, 16 people go into it, like in our actual year group. And I thought, well, if I've done that, I can take it further.
Yeah. And what did you do next? Take it further? Was there anything to follow?
Next thing, well, I was always singing. I was in sort of a few school productions at school. Sort of secondary school, I was Danny in the musical Grease, and that was like 1950s kind of thing. So I was the main part in that. But
how was your acting part of it? Was that alright?
Yeah, acting is, I'd say, is probably my weak point, but it helped me develop my actual acting skills and being on stage and things like that. And also at Valley Park as well, which was secondary school where I did Grease and things like that. I was in like a band there, and I've always liked music, and I was always in at sort of lunchtimes playing music and practicing songs with like musicians and things like that all the time. Yeah.
So what made you want to start performing? So apart from family, who did you see and made you want to do it?
Well, basically seeing all these like musical stars from the 50s and seeing a lot of artists modern day, and I thought I feel like I could actually do that as a living. I feel like I've got what it takes to do it, so I'm just going to have a go and do it. So that's what I just took from it. I'd find
a positive attitude you had then?
Yeah, so I'd find from the age of sort of 13, 14, 15, I'd go to any pubs around Mason where they'd have a jam night, and I'd always get up and I'd always do a song, like anything from like an Otis Redding song to an Elvis song to a Kings of Leon song, any sort of music. I'd just go up and get up and do it. I'd practice a song and then I'd go there that week and then I'd sing it live. And that's what I basically did for about 3 years or so. Just kept going and going, developing myself, singing and all that sort of thing.
Any previous bands at all?
Previous bands, I had a band when I was at school, and we didn't have a name for about at least 3 months. And this was at the time I was about 14, 15. We didn't have a name, so in the end we decided to call it, well, it's sort of like a sort of rock group, like Kings of Leon kind of act, sort of Arctic Monkeys. All the sort of music was around at the time, was quite big, and we decided to call it Hypoxia. Basically, that was the name of the band. And as I left secondary school, we sort of, we all parted ways. So we did different things, like the guitarist went to like School of Music in London, certain things, and I went to Mick College in Gillingham. So we all parted ways. And then I got into a band at college, and we basically just formed as a group. Nothing sort of hard about it, just sort of a soft thing. But then we started performing at gigs at college and doing things, and we decided to take it as a serious band.
Right.
So the band members who were in there, they sort of liked all different styles of music. I liked my sort of style of music. So we decided to meet in the middle and we'd do like a soul and a rock and roll kind of band. So that's what we did. We picked up a lot of local gigs locally, but we did a couple of sort of reasonable sized festivals and stuff.
What were you called?
We was called Lewis Sellen and the Distractions at the time. So that's what it was called. So it's a bit of a muckabout band, but then started getting more serious. But then towards the end, there were certain things wrong with it, certain people in the band wanted to do other styles of music. And then I wanted to do my own thing, so they decided they wanted to go out on their own and find another singer, so they sort of shafted me out, sort of thing. And
so was there a fallout then?
Yeah, quite a major fallout, and I still don't speak to them now, but that's
just because they want to do different things?
Yeah, but they didn't sort of do it in a professional way, they just sort of said, you're no longer required, we want to sort of go on our own, you want to do what you want to do, we want to do what we want to do, and that's it basically. So for a couple of months I was without a group, but then all of a sudden I sort of met Nick, who's in my current band at the moment, bass player, but I knew him from the age of 14, 15 because my dad used to follow his band, and they were a local band, Maidstone, called Rocket 88 at the time, and they were right into the rockabilly scene at the time. They were really big, they were quite a good band. They played anywhere from America, general Europe, they did like the rockabilly rave when it first started out, and they done really well. So I met him sort of through my dad at the age of 15, and I got up and did a couple of songs with his band at the time. His singer got me up and did a couple of songs, and they were really impressed, like a young lad knew all that kind of songs and stuff. And then basically didn't see him for a few years because obviously I was doing like my other bands and college and certain things, and then he was playing locally in a club in Bearsted, which is just outside Mason's, Bearsted Village. It's like a workmen's club.
Right.
And he was there, and I saw it on Facebook because I was friends with the singer still out of their band, and they don't really play that much anymore. But when they put a gig on, a lot of people turn up for it because they only play about 3-4 times a year.
Right.
So I basically decided to go to the gig. I saw it advertised. I said, "Dad, do you want to go?" And he said, "Yeah, we'll go." So I got talking to him. I said I was in the band at the time. This was the band like Lewis Ellen, sorry, and the Distractions. And he decided to come along. So after that gig finished with watching them, he come to a gig. Well, I was playing out a week later, and he just sort of said to me, you know, it's not really. I can see it's not really where you want to go. You're just sort of carrying the band, and you sort of don't want to do all that kind of music what they're doing. I said, well, no, I don't. He said, well, come with me. I'm in another band. I'm in a band called the Sunsetters. Come along. We're playing at Southend next week. Come along with me. I'll pick you up. I'll take you there, and then you can see what we're about.
Yeah. And
he said it's more harder rockabilly stuff. So I thought, okay. So I went with him to Southend, and I watched them, and then he asked their singer at the time, "Oh, there's this young boy Lewis and that. He can sing and stuff. Do you mind if we get him up for a couple of songs and that?" He said, "Yeah, go on then, go ahead." And he sort of, I suppose he didn't expect much from me. He sort of looked at me and thought he can't even sing that well. But I got up anyway, and people sort of were amazed. They thought, "How old is he?" Like, and I was only about 18 at the time, so just turned 18, and it just basically went from there. Basically, then after that, their sort of band carried on for a little while, and I kept going to their gigs and kept watching them perform. And then their singer decided to leave, and then they was out without a singer, and that's how I got drafted into doing what I'm doing now.
Yes, how did it go from obviously after Frank left?
Yeah.
How did it?
Yeah, when Frank left, they were just going to go as a 3-piece, and then Nick asked the other two, "Well, why don't we get Lewis? Because his band, he split up with his band. He hasn't got a band, and he sort of wants to get into rockabilly, as in general rockabilly.
Yeah.
Why don't we get him?" And they sort of thought about it, and then decided to ask me to join. So we did, and I had a lot of my own songs written. I wanted to play and stuff, and then we just basically all went round Nick's house and had a jam, and they could see something was there, and I had something that I wanted to give to the table, and then we just basically formed Lewis and the Twilight Trio.
Just clean it all up and that.
Are you ready for the video? Are you ready for the video?
Yeah. It's all sort of done.
Excellent sign.
I've just got to clean it up really.
Well, then polishing it, look again,
yeah,
polishing
polish it and titivate it.
Massage its inner feelings.
Got to rub its fairings.
Talk to the baby then. Go
Yeah.
We know one hand loose, so. Straight in it. Say.
I'll go straight, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready, in, yeah?
Fine.
Well, about last night, on the floor, where the mama told me I had a box. Sat me down and put me on, laughing around that baby while I take a nap. Bounce to the baby, yeah, yeah, I give my hug to the baby, come on, let's rock, my hug to the baby, yeah, to the bounce, yeah, rock and bounce to the baby, come on, let's rock and bounce to the baby, yeah, rock and bounce to the baby, come on, let's rock, bounce to the baby, nearly every night. Yeah, yeah, I'm my whole baby, come on, let's ride. Down to the baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so how did you start gigging? Did you just do dates that Frank had left over to start with, or...?
Yeah, well, basically,
Not really.
when he was finishing up, there was no dates left anyway, because it was near the end, it was sort of like December time.
Right.
But I had a couple of gigs I had from my other band that I needed to play, so I asked them three, can you come in and sort of fill the gap what my other band left behind, sort of thing. So we played a local place called the Walnut Tree in Maidstone. It's up the up Tunbridge Road. And then we played in Aylesford Village. It's called the Checkers Inn. And then that was it. We played them 2 gigs. We didn't really have much. And then we decided to take it serious. Started writing songs and sort of performing them like round Nick's house. Then we managed to get a couple of gigs in sort of Southend in Essex, because the people there recognised who I was from when Frank was in there, and I used to get up a couple of times, so they gave me a chance there. Did a couple of gigs there, and then people started noticing us, and we started picking up other gigs. We started playing sort of Margate Meltdown in the Ace Cafe, which was last year. We played that, and we basically done loads of things, and I sort of started going to weekenders and things like that, and meeting people, saying I was in a band, and I'd get up and do a jam session, and then they'd sort of know who I am, look me up on Facebook, and then see who was playing, and they'd come along. So started building up a bit of support. Yeah, so it's like that basically.
Right, so after getting regular gigs, didn't you, in Essex and Kent and all around like that, when did you get your first big gig? What was your first?
Well, I'd say the sort of turning point of us as like Lula's and Twilight Trio was getting a chance to perform at Margate Meltdown, and it's a big event. It's like all for the people into bikes and motorbikes, you know,
right.
Called BSAs. Basically people who really like bikes, they'd all go to it, and it'd be absolutely thousands of people who go to it. And when we got asked to do that, it was through our guitarist Tom Hayes.
Yeah.
He he's known his promoter called Bill Guntrip, who runs the Ace Caff for absolute years. So he's quite sort of friendly with him. And then he was looking for a band for the Ace Caff, but he wanted a local band. It was quite local to the Margate area, which isn't too far from like where we're from in Kent. And he was looking for a brand new band, no one's seen before. And then Tom said, "What about us?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll give it a go and stuff." He said, "Because obviously I trust you, because you've been around for years, and I trust your judgment." So we basically got a chance to play there in front of loads of people. You know, there's thousands of people there on the day, you know, walking about and stuff. But there was probably at least a few hundred watching us, and that was a turning point for us at the time. And that's when it started
picking up a bit,
snowballing. Us as a band and getting bigger things and going on to bigger and better things.
And how did you get that? Was it from the debut demo CD you did at the start?
Yeah, so we sort of released a demo CD, but Tom sent the actual CD to Bill Guntrip to listen.
Yeah.
Like he said, he trusts like Tom, because obviously he's quite a well-known sort of guitarist in the sort of music scene, in the rockabilly scene. But he wanted to see how I was, like my voice and stuff, and you know, if I was going to be any good and up to scratch to go on to a big thing like that. But he was very impressed, and then that's when he asked us to play.
that CD virtually was produced to help you get out there, wasn't it, originally?
Yeah, so originally the demo CD we actually recorded, which was last year, It was basically to get us out there and get more gigs and get more notice, and hopefully with the year after we'd be able to actually record a proper CD in a proper studio. So with that CD it got us out there more notice, more people was talking about us.
Yeah.
But the only problem people had with us, why are you not on a label? So then we started thinking, well, we need to actually get on a label. So that's basically how we got into contact in recording Western Star, because Tom and Nick who were in my band. They've been in bands like such as Jack Rabbit Slim, who are the biggest sort of selling band on Western Star's label, and they were on the album Sleazabilly, which like went literally gold disc sort of thing. It sold so many for that kind of music, and also they recorded it with like Rocky 88 a few years back. So the producer from Western Star, he knew Tom and Nick quite well, and like once again trusted their judgment. He's seen what they can do, but he was just worried about what is your singer like, because he's only young. What is he like? Do you think he can, you know, do it? And they said, well, he can do it, but I need to listen to him first. That's what he said. So once again, Tom sent a CD over it, and he was very impressed with it, and he basically just said, come on down when you're free. So that's how it went, like that, recording wise.
Just going back a bit, you know when you perform like Super, like the Margate Mountain, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
How do you perform compared to when there's only, like a crowd of say 15, 20? Do you still put the same?
I still put the same effort in, and I treat it, say if you have only about 6 people watching you, I'd still treat those 6 people as saying playing in front of 6,000 people. I still treat it the same. I still give the same energy and the same.
Because you don't know who they are either, do you? They could be.
Yeah, exactly. They could be anyone, a big promoter or anything. You just don't know about people, because it's always the people who don't look like anything are the people who are something.
Yeah. And
do have something to offer you. So.
Yes, I'm a tip-top daddy, get out of my way, hurry, walk my doors, what they all say. Come on, baby, get ready for a ride, wanna hang loose, but I'll be satisfied. Give me the heavy, cause I wanna ride, turn loose and weird, on my top. Come on, baby, swing it down the side, wanna hang loose and I'll be satisfied. Let's ride! And I'll be satisfied. Because I wanna rock till you say you go by side. Come on, baby, swing by side. One hand loose and I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, so after like the Ace Cafe you played in there, you played at the Rumble as well, haven't you? Brighton.
Yeah, we played the Brighton Rumble. We supported the Delta Bombers, and they're on a record label in America called Wild Records, which is based in Los Angeles. So we supported them basically for that night, and then also from that we played the Brighton Burn Up through Bill Guntrip.
Right.
He basically runs the Ace Cafe. So basically, we got the people who watched this festival at the Brighton Rumble. They decided to go to the gig a month later watching us there, and then we sort of started picking a bit of following Brighton. Also, like we've played in Essex and areas like that, so we've got a bit of a fan base here and everywhere, sort of thing.
It's gathering up quicker.
Yeah, so it's getting a lot of people interested.
And what was it like playing at Ronnie Scott's, obviously nearly a year ago?
Oh yeah, that's a year ago, and you filmed that, didn't you, Scott? Yeah, that was a good experience because once again, with that, you've got so many different famous artists, like such as Jeff Beck. You've had people like Tom Jones perform there, Rod Stewart, loads of different artists, not necessarily jazz artists, but all certain artists who've been there, who are well known, and to be able to play on the same spot of where they've actually performed is just incredible. It's amazing. Like, you know, you've even had people like Les Paul there and all these amazing guitar players there, all been on the same spot where you've been.
You stood, yeah.
And to do that is just incredible.
So whose decision was it to get in the car and go to Western Star? Who kick-started that?
See, I always listened to who were in the Twilight trio, like Tom and Nick. I've always listened to their songs ever since I was about 15, and I always looked at what label they was on, and 9 out of 10 it was always Western Star, and I was thinking the sound they're getting from that studio is incredible. I'd love to go there one day and record, and I never thought it'd happen.
Yeah.
And then as soon as this whole thing started going a bit more serious, Tom suggested we should record Western Star, get on a proper label. We've done a demo,
yeah.
So now it's time to step up a bit and get on a proper label. So it went from there. So Tom suggested the idea, Nick was behind it, and Woody said, yeah, I'm in. So it just took it from there, and basically sent the demo off and managed to get on the actual label to record.
And also you played in Belgium as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we played in Antwerp, which is a city in Belgium.
So you've come quite a way really in that 18 months, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. So that's the first European sort of date we've had, and it was a fantastic experience. It was in an actual old fortress which was built in the, I think it was in the early 1800s, and we've basically performed in the actual fortress itself. And you had other bands on there, like rockabilly bands, but they were from like, one was from Holland, one was from Germany, and one was from Belgium. So you had different bands from different countries here. Like with us, we was from England, so all different nationalities there. But it was you know, it's just an incredible experience. I really had a good time. They treated me really well up there, and once again through Tom in our band, he managed to get a friendship over the years with this lady out there called Maggie, and she managed to get us onto that gig to play there through her. So if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be on that stage doing that in Antwerp.
And why was the decision to employ like Bill Guntrip, so it's like at the bigger, like a manager type thing?
Yeah, I mean he actually approached us because he could see we was getting a bit of momentum behind us, getting a lot of good gigs, and he said, look guys, he said, do you have a management or any sort of management? I said, well no, we sort of do it ourselves, so it is a bit tough at times. It does get quite hard trying to get gigs and, you know, trying to book them up. He said, well, why don't I be your manager? He said, I've got other artists on my label, you know, on my management label.
Yeah.
And I'd like you on there, you know, because Lewis, you're young and stuff, and you've got, you know, Tom and Nick behind you and Woody, and they're all experienced. He said, no, yeah, I really like you, that's why I wanted you to play at the Margate Meltdown, because I really liked your music and it's your own material. And he basically wanted us on there to get us more gigs, and through him we are starting to get more bigger and better gigs now.
Bigger gigs. So what's his role? Does he just do the bigger gigs, or does he?
Yeah, so basically the deal with him is, basically you can go and get what kind of gigs you want, you know, go out and do your own thing, but the gigs he gets us, he would get them for us, but he has to take a 10% out of our money,
right?
Basically.
Fair enough though, getting on like a bigger bill, isn't
yeah,
it?
So it's worth it in a way. Okay, he takes a bit of percentage of money out of it, but it's worth it because if he's getting you on bigger gigs, you're going to be seen by more people, so it works in both ways really.
And next year you're booked up for playing at the Rave?
Yep,
big step
once
again,
you know, hard work pays off in the end, because I've been wanting to get on there for a good couple of years.
Because you mentioned about even possibly giving up if you weren't on that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's such a big thing for you to do.
I've been wanting to get on this ever since I went to the Rave at the age of 18. All I wanted to do was perform there and be on that stage, and I'd go out my way and do anything, you know, get up and jam sessions there, just to be part of it and be involved in it. And 2 years later it's finally come together, because I got an email through from Jerry Chatterbox, who runs the actual Rockabilly Rave, and asked if we wanted to play there and be on the actual bill. So it's worth it now. It's, you know, all the hard work's paid off in the end, because I've actually managed to play it where I want to go.
Where you want to do it, yeah.
I got a masking around the outside, chasing my teeth, so it's that fine. Every time I try, we're crazy about the outside girl. Where else it gets colder, every little time I try to hold her, it's casually saying, don't tell, oh, look on the gentleman, all of them try, we're crazy about the outside girl.
Finally on this part, your debut CD got in the top 10, didn't it? Music charts.
Yeah, debut. Yeah, see, with our Western Star release, which was called Red Hot Baby, it's got
Do you think that's why you got up there? Because obviously you're on that recognised label.
Yeah, so I think it helped a lot being on Western Star and being released on that label, because basically we had 17 of our own tunes like recorded on that label, and then sort of recently I've looked through like sort of rockabilly charts in UK Rock and Roll magazine, and we was #9 out of, like worldwide on the contemporary charts, and you sort of competing against people like Brian Setzer from the Stray Cats, who was #1 in the charts, and he hadn't had a CD out for 10 years. So you know,
to be up with that type of people.
Yeah, people are going to sort of buy more his music because he is a well-known artist, a singer and a guitarist, you know, from the Stray Cats. So you're competing against people like that, and that's a real good thing, because you're basically a new band who's been going for about 18 months or so, and to be competing against people who've been going for about 30 years plus is a brilliant achievement, I think.
Rolling on down the line. I gotta get a train, I gotta find a girl of mine. Well, I'm taking any station inside, if I haven't seen her of mine. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. From coast to coast, and border to border, and ride. 'Cause girl, I'm left here living over the reason why. Well, I'm taking any station inside, if I haven't seen her of mine. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. Traveling the 19 freight. Well, started racing these United States. Said I buy him a bottle of wine. You think I find a little girl of mine. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. Keep rolling, boys. Well, that #9 freight train rolling on down the line. I gotta get a train, 'cause I gotta find a girl of mine. Well, I'm taking any station inside, if I haven't seen her of mine. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. On the #9 freight train, rolling on down the line. Oh, you're very kind. Just that Tom Haynes wrote that one. You made me sing it.
Right, you've had the pleasure of meeting some big people in the scene, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Tell us who have you met, like the big stars you would say? And that.
Big stars in the rockabilly scene. I'd say back in June time, Rockabilly Rave managed to have a good old chat with Scotty Baker from Australia. Well, I'd say he's probably one of the biggest ones. And also, saying that actually, a couple of months back in July time, there was a sort of announcement on Facebook, and I didn't know if it was a sort of a hoax or it was made up, and I wasn't too sure, but it said that near my local Beerstead's quite local to me, it's probably about 10 miles away. That Big Sand and the Fire Up Boys were booked to play there as like a petrol gig. They were came back from like a European tour, and as most people like know into rockabilly, Big Sand and Fire Up Boys are a really good band, excellent band, one of the best around. And I thought it was a hoax anyway. But then there's all people commenting on Facebook saying about it. Oh yeah, you have to go to that. And it was at the White Horse, and I used to go there quite a bit, just have a drink and stuff with friends and stuff. And then anyway, I decided to go, and they're all there, sort of set up and ready to play. And then the singer, Big Sandy, was out getting changed in his van out in the car park. And I sort of want to go up to talk to him, but when there's someone so big such as that, you know, like as an artist, you sort of think he won't be interested in talking to me. But anyway, I went up, approached him, spoke to him. He's the most friendliest person ever. And I said to him, I was going to say, do you mind if I get up and do a few songs and stuff in the pub? Because I said, you know, there's a few people I know in there, and that you'd like to see me sing and stuff. He goes, oh yeah, sure, man. Like, you know, really friendly person.
Right, yeah.
So basically, he was singing, doing his set, absolutely flawless, really excellent atmosphere. It was absolutely rammed in the actual pub, and there was people such in there, like, you know, Joey Chatterbox, who was from the rave. You know, there's all sort of well-known people in there who come to watch him. And then he said, oh, now we're going to get up Young Lewis and stuff and that, and you know, got up and did stuff. Did like sort of Charlie Feathers and Johnny Bennett, did a couple of songs and stuff, and people absolutely loved it. And he was really shocked, because when he come to introduce me, he sort of looked as if to say, like, I don't really know who you are, and I don't know if you can actually sing, and I'm sort of giving you a big chance to get up and have a go. I did, and he was really pleased. He was really happy, and the band, you know, really, well, couldn't believe it really, and they thought, well, where have you come from? I said, I'm only 10 miles away, and they're quite pleased with it really.
And what about like Imelda May you met, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that's another one, so you missed out, so thanks for clarifying that actually. Met Imelda May.
Was she nice to talk to?
Yeah, absolutely amazing person to talk to, because the thing is, you sort of I get worried personally when someone gets quite big as like in music. Some people change their perspective. Some, you know, when they're on the way up, they're very friendly and very polite, and they can turn and become very sort of vicious and sort of like, you know, yeah, I know I'm good, that's why I'm here sort of attitude. But she was completely opposite. She was very grounded, very down to earth as it could come. And I met her husband Daryl Hyam, who I'd say is a big influence on me, like, you know, with playing guitar, because he was very influenced with Eddie Cochran when he was growing up.
Well, yeah.
And he can play Eddie Cochran to a T on guitar. Absolutely amazing, talented person. So I got to meet.
Did you see Jeff Beck as well?
Oh yeah, that's another one as well. Yeah, he was backstage with Imelda May, and I've seen him before, sort of backstage when Wild Records come over and did a thing in Camden, like with the Rhythm Shakers, who are from like Los Angeles, and they come over to London to do a performance, and he was backstage talking to them. And as you know, Jeff Beck's such a big name. You know, he's played with Yardbirds and Eric Clapton to many good bands. He's played with Les Paul for his 90th birthday celebrations. Right. Anyway, he was with Imelda May, and I could see him through a corridor. As I was looking in, all these sort of girls were all huddled around, wanting to see Imelda May and get a picture and an autograph. And I could see him, and he walked through. My dad was with me at the time, and he said, "That's Jeff Beck." I said, "No, it's not." He said, "Yeah, it's Jeff Beck. You can tell it's Jeff Beck." And he walked through, and all these girls didn't bat an eyelid at him. Just sort of looked at him like he was just any old person, you know. And he walked through, and he probably didn't expect no one to sort of notice him or anything, because they were all after Imelda May. They wanted to see her. And he walked through, and I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Hey Jeff," I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Oh, you know who I am, do you?" Like that. He said, "You're only young." I said, "Yeah." I said, "My name's Lewis." I said, "I think you're absolutely fantastic." I said, you know, guitar player and everything, you're such a big influence on me." I said, "The stuff you've done, like, is amazing." He said, "Oh man," he said, "oh, that's brilliant." He said, "What, are you singing yourself musician?" I said, "Yeah, I'm actually in a band." I said, "I've got a CD on me now if you'd like a copy." He said, "Yeah, I'll take a CD, yeah, I'll have a listen."
Was that your new CD you had?
Well, actually, that was my demo CD before it come out, because that was in March time.
Right,
the actual official CD come out in May on Western Star, so a bit before. But I gave him a demo CD, and we had a good old chat and a good old discussion. And then after that, like I said, I met Imelda May, had pictures with her, and Dale Hyam, and also, like I said, had pictures with Jeff Beck, and that was a really good sort of highlight for me.
Friendly to you, were they?
Yeah, and they're all very friendly and approachable, and they were interested in what I was doing as well, and you know, seeing, because I'm quite young as well.
Yeah.
What made you get into it? And they were, you know, and they're very supportive, and they just said, you know, keep going, and you know, you'll be able to do what you want to do, sort of eventually.
The news is out all over town that you've been singing around. I guess that I should leave her there. I just can't go. You win again. Oh, this heart of mine, I could never see what everybody knew about me. I guess that I should leave her there. I just can't go. You win again. I'm sorry for your victim now, but soon his head, like mine will bow. He'll have his heart, but all in vain. And someday say you win again. You have no harm, you have no shame. You take true love and you give her blame. I guess that I should leave her there, but I love you still. You win again.
Right, so what does the future hold for you and the band?
Well, hopefully the future for us for this, well, really this year, is to obviously get a lot more gigs and hopefully play a lot more in Europe and that in the summer months. And well, we'll be playing at the rave and things, so hopefully that would give us a bit of a direction of where we're going to go as a band. Yeah, and just basically just keep making music. Basically, that's the aim.
Is there a new album on the horizon? Or
yeah, there is a new album, on the horizon. We don't know what it's going to be called yet, but so far we have got definite songs. We've got 10 definites. But we've got to do a lot more to them to finish them up. But the bare bones, 10 songs are there at the moment. But hopefully we're going to have about 12 to 14 songs like on the definite album. So hopefully we can record quite a few good songs and then pick the best and then use them, and then maybe put the other ones on the compilation album, on the Western Star release or something like that.
Miss Diamond, yeah, you're looking much, Ray. That's one of our new tracks.
So what's the next 12 months, next year for the band?
Well,
is it, as you said, there's more European dates?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. For the next 12 months would be to try and crack more the European market more than such as like where we're playing at the moment. We're playing, but we're more. We've got more of a fan base in the UK than in Europe, but hopefully we can branch out more to different countries and hopefully go more into Europe playing as well.
Yeah, no disrespect to the others, but when they obviously they're a little bit that much older than you.
Yeah, I mean they've been going for at least 20 odd years, you know, as musicians themselves, you know, and they even turned around to me and said we can go so far, but there will come a time when you have got to basically have a look for other options and look for other younger musicians.
That's what I say. You're still going to carry on when it happens, or do you think that'll be the
Yeah,
end of it?
I think I'll still carry on, but it solely depends on if you can get the right people for that right kind of genre of music. If right people come at the right time, and then we have a good go of it, and it does kick off again, then yeah. But if it's not happening, if it's, you know, if you can't find the musicians, you know, it's quite hard. I might have to eventually go into another style of music and meet different people. Or, you know.
Have you got any regrets so far, musically at all? Not doing things sooner, or
probably big regrets is probably not meeting the guys sooner. Really, you know, if we was round the more same age bracket, maybe we could keep going on for about 10 years or so.
Yeah.
But sorry, but they've obviously been in bands before and they've been there, seen it and done it. That's probably the biggest regret, is meeting them, and you know, we've been playing for like a year and a half now, but it's just such a shame that they're so much older and they won't be able to do it forever. See, well, I've got the opportunity to do it because I'm still young. That's probably the biggest regret, is not being all the same age. That would be, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, they've got experience in it. Hopefully they're going to get me on.
It hasn't affected you so far, has it?
Oh no, it hasn't affected us at all.
If anything, it's probably helped you.
It has helped, yeah, because they've got a lot of experience, and they do know certain people that I didn't know exist in the sort of rockabilly scene. They've put me on to people like that, so without them I wouldn't really be doing it, really, like, you know, getting out there and playing, doing what I like doing.
And at the end of your life, how do you want people to remember you? What do you want to leave your mark as? Oh,
I'd like to sort of say a very hard-working and a trustworthy person, a very loyal person, and hopefully somewhere along the line I can touch people with my music, and that would be a good thing for me if I was on death's door. If I touch someone's life with my music, that would be the ultimate for me, is to reach out for someone else and to show someone that my experiences can help them, I'd say.
This last one's not on there, but what is your most favourite song that you've written and recorded?
Well, that's very hard, because
they're all
wrote some really good songs. I'd say the ultimate for me was the first one I ever put pen to paper and showed the guys in my band, like, you know, what I was trying to do was probably Be There When I Call. That was the ultimate one for me. as soon as I played it to them, they absolutely loved it, and it just kicked straight off. And then from doing that song, it's helped us record more music. And
that's had worldwide plays as well, hasn't it?
yeah, that's been played. There's a radio station in Denver somewhere, and Colorado. There's a radio station there, and they played that particular song on like internet radio sort of thing. And then you had people from Japan asking about the song. Where can I get it from? Because at the time it was only on a demo CD, so it wasn't worldwide. You couldn't get it. And you know, there's places like in France and Germany that are playing it, Italy, loads of different places. So that particular song had a lot of good airplay from just being basically just a muck about demo song.
Right, thanks for that.
That's all right. Hope I've given people an insight into sort of my life and my way of thinking. I'd just like to thank everybody who's given me the support the last 18 months. So I'd like to thank Mum and Dad. I'd like to thank you, Scott, for being a good friend. I'd like to thank all the people from Southend, and I'd like to thank well, Tom, Nick and Woody, because without them I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now and getting out there and performing and showing what people I can do. So yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone who's been there and given me support along the way into my musical journey. So thanks very much, guys. Very much.
And what about old Kev Brown?
Oh yeah, Kev Brown, as he says to me, and you, Scott, doesn't he? He says, top boys, mate, top boys.
Lovely, cheers, Les.
All right.